Hey, quick question for you. What's in between your current life and your dream life? If the answer is resistance, well, yes, that's right. Resistance is what's holding you back. But today, I am also giving you another answer. It's called hidden potential. It's your undeveloped or underdeveloped potential that is standing in the way of your dream life. I am going to give you a quick book review of Hidden Potential, The Science of Achieving Greater Things by Adam Grant. He is one of my all-time favorite authors. And, I'll save you some time so you don't have to read this whole thing. I'll give you the valuable takeaways in under 10 minutes, all right? So this book is primarily made up of 3 parts: skills of character, structures of motivation, and systems of opportunity. I am going to skip the 3rd part because it's more focused on organizations. I want to focus on skills of character and structures of motivation. They are more geared towards individuals. Now, first, skills of character. My question for you at this point is that what's the difference between a character and personality, right? Personality is the predisposition of a person, how they think, feel, act based on their instincts. It's on the instinctual level, whereas character reflects a person's value. There is a choice here. The things they value, they act based on that. So that's why characters are the most important things. When you judge a person's character, when you decide if you want to build a relationship with this person, it's really about the character, not necessarily about the personality, okay? So dig deeper. Now, talking about skills of character, Adam phrased it as getting better at getting better. And in my words, it means learning how to learn, right? The whole point of education is to become a better learner. It's not about the knowledge itself. Knowledge gets updated on a daily basis. But how you can become a better learner is what sets you apart from the rest of the crowd, right? So it's all about that. Now, skills of characters are actually the soft skills, and they trump the hard skills, which is the cognitive skills, like your brain, your taking in information. Skills of character in this chapter, there are 3 subtitles: creatures of discomfort, human sponges, and the imperfectionists. And there are 3 most important takeaways, okay? The first one is you have to embrace discomfort. I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. We talked about delayed gratification, right? Embracing the awkwardness of learning, especially the beginning stages, is what creates consistency. Otherwise, you're just going to want to throw in the towels and call it quits. We talk about resistance in my previous video, and you can, refer back to that. But here's the thing. If you can embrace the discomfort, you're more likely to put in consistent effort and see results faster, okay? It's all about delaying gratification, endure that discomfort, and still putting in the work, even without seeing the immediate results. And then the second part, being a human sponge. Oh, I love how he phrased this one. It's all about having the capacity to absorb and adapt. And in this day and age, it's really about adaptation, right? Whoever gets to adapt the fastest gets to win, because this is what today's society is all about. Well, there are so many quick changes. So you have to be a sponge and be quick to adapt. Now, I want to show you this chart here in the book, okay? I don't know if you can see it. So there are 4 types of people, let's just say. There's a rubber, there's a clay, Teflon, and sponge. And sponge is what you want to aim for because it reflects a proactive attitude or approach, absorbing approach. Also, a growth mindset, right? If you have growth mindset, but you are more of a reactive mode, then you become the clay. Being the clay, meaning that other people have to help you, right? They have to hold you up. And if you are ego-driven, but you are reactive, oh, that's the worst. That's like a rubber. You cannot be moved, right? If you are ego-driven, but you are still proactive, that's Teflon. Teflon meaning that, you don't really, the information doesn't stick. You seek information, but it doesn't stick, right? Sometimes I'm guilty of that, okay? Just want to be vulnerable. So yes, become a sponge. so that you can learn and absorb and adapt. And don't let your ego get in your way. And then the imperfectionist. Yes, okay, perfectionism, we talk about it all the time. Here's the thing. I think being a perfectionist, again, it's all ego-driven, right? And who gets to decide what is perfect? If you think about what other people think of you, you're more likely to become a perfectionist. But that gets in the way of your learning and adaptation. So find the sweet spot between flawed and flawless. Well, flawless is pretty much impossible. Flawed, you don't want to be too flawed. So keep moving, keep improving, and at a certain point, put yourself out there. And keep putting yourself out there, actually, because that's what we call get ready before you get ready, or act ready before you get ready, because you cannot, nobody is ready. Let's just face it way, okay? But what makes you ready is a mindset and your consistent action. It builds confidence, okay? Remember, confidence comes from action, okay? Not the other way around. Action does not come from confidence. Confidence comes from action. So put in the work first. Now, the second part, structures of motivation. Ooh, we talk about motivation, and sometimes when we lose motivation, it's really because we're not seeing immediate results yet, or the results are ups and downs, right? And that's how your internal state get disturbed by your external circumstances. That's when your motivation starts to falter and shake and crumble. You will encounter a lot of obstacles. And actually, the bigger your dream is, the more obstacles there will be along the way. So one of the most important things is about transforming the daily grind. I'm using these words, infusing passion into practice. For me, my own words would just be enjoy the process. Have fun with the process. Right? If you are not passionate with the practice, with the work, if you're only passionate about the results, again, that's ego-driven, right? So really, check your ego, remove your ego from this whole learning process. You will get so much further ahead, so much more quickly, okay? So remember to infuse passion into practice. You have to love your practice, even when it's boring, okay? It's a kind of play. When we say play an instrument, why do we call it play? Play is sports. Why is it play? It's actually practice, but it's also play because you enjoy it. So never, ever give up the enjoyment part. My parents would say their biggest mistake was that when they forced me to play the piano, they took the fun out of it. Right? So that was a big mistake, yes, and I've learned it the hard way. So now doing whatever I do, I make sure to make it fun. And how do you make it fun? Again, delayed gratification. You can add rewards later, right? You can, the easiest way is really to do what you love. When you love what you do and do what you love, it's just going to be fun. And also do it with people that you enjoy spending time with. That's another way, right? So there are many ways to infuse passion into practice. Just make sure, check in with your gut. Are you having fun doing it? Are you really enjoying it? And don't focus on the results. Focus on the process and focus on the present moment and focus on building a relationship between you, yourself, and the thing that you're practicing. Okay? Then getting unstuck is the roundabout path to forward progress. Okay, I don't really believe there is a stuck state, okay? There is only a stuck state when you spend too much time in your head thinking about the results or comparing with others or dwelling in your past, right? Dwelling on your past. So there's no such thing. The roundabout path to forward progress, I mean, sometimes you do need to take breaks. It's mental fatigue, and you understand yourself better than anyone else. You need to take breaks. You need to refuel yourself. You need to relax. That's a very, very important thing, right? You need to spend quality time, unwind. Those are all great. But I also think getting unstuck is about taking inventory of how far you've come along. Because when you're only focusing on the goal, on the mountaintop, then it's easy to think that you're stuck, right? But if you look at how far you've come along, then the little detour that you're having, it's just a little detour. Second, it's about getting other parts of information so for you to craft a better path forward or upward. There's never time wasted. There's never efforts wasted. But you have to get into the mindset of checking how far you've come along. And then lastly, defying gravity, the art of flying by our bootstraps. I think this also has a lot to do with the proactivity, right? I also love what Adam says about the coaching versus teaching. I used to be a teacher, now I'm a coach, and it's really because coaching helps you also motivate yourself. It's not about the knowledge, it is about empowering others to do this work, and by empowering others, you also empowering yourself, because you do have to get into that state of mind. It's not about knowledge, it's really about that mindset and building the character skills. So remember, the art of flying by our bootstraps, defying gravity, is really, regardless of where you're starting from today, you have the power within you to change your circumstances, and you also have the power to inspire and empower others. And that is actually great, because once we step into the leadership role to become a source of inspiration, not only for ourselves, but also for others, that's when the motivation gets ignited and it will just keep going. Yeah? I am actually going to stop here because I feel like these 6 points are more than enough for you to start implementing today. If you have one takeaway, the biggest takeaway, I would say make your practice enjoyable. Start to play. Start to play now. Shut down this video and start playing your musical instrument, sports, writing, whatever, or even just pure having fun with your kids. That's your biggest takeaway. Once you have the fun in the play, you will want to keep playing. And that's how you become a better player and better learner and better at whatever you do. Alrighty, I am going to peace out, but remember to check out my other videos, and if you like my videos, of course, subscribe for more. I will see you next week. Alright, you're the best. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.